question that was so difficult or just like puzzled you, and it took so much of your time to figure out whether or not you should or shouldn't, or yes or no, there's a way you can cut through all of that pretty quickly by being really mindful about what your values are. In this video, I'm going to go through what values are and how you can find out what yours are and how they're going to help you make decisions. It matters to be intentional because it can help in our decision-making process. And basically, life is just like a bunch of decisions made every day, all day long for the rest of your life. So make it easy on yourself and know what's important to you, because they can help you cut through a lot of BS. Intentionality, mindfulness, and being clear on what your values are help financially independent people make good decisions, because I want to help my clients make really good decisions in their lives that'll lead to a fulfilling life, whatever that may be, whatever their definition of fulfilling is for them. One way I help them get there is just by helping them figure out what's important. So go and do this exercise. Values mining, or the process of going through and kind of just like parsing out what is important to a specific person, helps so much. Figure out for yourself what is important. To give you a few examples of what values are for other people, it might be, courage, love, humor, comfort, teamwork, order, friendship, comfort, commitment, assertiveness, dignity, insightfulness, self-reliance. Sometimes though, people get like tripped up and they want to just pick the values they think they should pick, like charity or support, when maybe they're not that charitable and maybe they don't want to be that supportive. So be honest with yourself about what your values are, and they'll help you uncover why you've made decisions that you've made in the past, good or bad. When my clients are really clear on what their values are, making decisions in their financial life becomes a lot easier. A lot of the time that it takes to make a decision is cut in half, and they can take a specific financial action or decision and say, okay, does this get me closer to my goal of financial independence or further? And then the answer to that question helps them decide whether or not it's worthwhile to make this purchase or worthwhile to purchase this service, whatever it may be. Knowing what is important to you and being mindful about the activities you take on gets you closer to your goal. If your goal is financial independence, and having a clear set of values gets you closer to that. Now, your values can change over time. They're likely to. We're human, Things that are important to us today might not be that important to us in the future. So it's important to keep reassessing what values are important for you. If you're like a 20, 30-year-old go-getter and it's really important for you that you get that promotion and you get that raise and that you are achieving, then go you. But if you're 50 or 60 and you're getting closer to retirement, you might not be valuing the need to create an empire at this point. And now it might be that rest, relaxation, being with my family, loving my family are more of the values that you'd like to honor. Then I want you to take a look at your intentions. Intentions around specific decisions are also important. I'll give you a great example. On my drive to go see my family yesterday for Thanksgiving dinner, I kind of set an intention on my way up there. My intention is to be there for my family because we've been through a lot this year, and didn't, in that moment of setting the intention, figure out how I was going to do it. I just set the intention that that's the feeling, or that's the essence of like my purpose in being present. The pitfalls of not making decisions based on your values are kind of sucky. If you're making a decision because of what's in your bank account, or because you are afraid of letting someone else down, the opposite of making decisions through the lens of your values is kind of making decisions through your fear. And when you're making decisions through fear, you might not be making the best ones. And it takes practice to relearn how to make decisions through the lens of your values. I want you to think about the last decision that you made that was kind of important and didn't really go well. It's likely that that decision was made through the lens of fear and that your values are not honored by the decision that you took. Think about your ideal situation, whether that be financial, romantic, career, whatever it may be. When you are thinking about that peak, that pinnacle experience of having made it in that specific area of your life, what values are lighting up for you? Are you expressing love, joy, honor, courage? I want you to go through the list below and mark the ones that are important to you. And we'll come back to this video and we'll go from there. As you go through this list of values, I want you to pick out your top 10 and be honest with yourself. Don't pick the ones you think that I want you to pick or the ones you think your spouse or your significant other, your parents want you to pick. I want you to pick the ones that matter to you. No one else is going to see this. It's just going to be you and me. Well, I mean, you. But the process of figuring out what they are, that's deeply personal, and it's going to be in service of you and your life. So be honest with yourself. The more you're honest with yourself, the easier life becomes. Welcome back. Okay, so now you have this list of 10 values in front of you, and I want you to think about the last good decision you made and the last bad decision you made, and I want you to look at each of these values and say, oh, these values were honored when I made this good decision. And when someone I'm working with is approaching like a really important life question, I ask them to have their list of 10 top values close by as we assess the specific question, because they're going to help inform us about whether or not these specific values will be honored by going in either one of the directions that has come up in this important life decision. When you've trained your brain to start looking at questions or life decisions through the lens of your values, it makes it really easy to live authentically. You know, you're not just doing things to make other people happy or because you think you should or because you think that's what's expected of you. When you're clear on what your personal values are, then you get to the place where you're making really good decisions for yourself. Hopefully that's helpful for you. If you enjoyed that, please like and subscribe below. Hit the little bell button if you're new here, and that'll let you know when there's new content. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments section below. I would love to hear what you think. What are your values? Write them down in the comment section below. All right, see you next time.